Guys, thank you so much for listening. This is Real Talk Spirit with an intuitive message. Here, we see the truth, we hear the truth, we know the truth, we honor the truth, and we speak the truth. Thank you. Let's get started. What I heard today, or saw rather, and heard, this fighting scene from this movie called Sucker Punch. And the girl in Sucker Punch, the main character, she was an orphan. A lot of you could have felt like the oddball out in a lot of situations, orphaned, but that was for a specific purpose. And some of you could have even been an orphan. But whatever the case is, you infiltrated corrupt places and spaces that no one had. It's like you were the missing ingredient in order for these institutions and everything to be taken down in a justifiable, in a way in which changes the entirety of a nation in the right way to never return. We keep talking about you transcending time and space. You do. You create and you also destroy for the purpose of the will of El, eternally Ashe. So the girl, she had the power to, once she went through all of these tests that they were trying to do on her, she overcame each and every one. And she maneuvered in a way through these energies in a way that she didn't know her own strength. And they were easily fooled by the facade that she was playing for her own protection. That is why you constantly shed, because you are moving in different ways per portal. As I spoke about yesterday in the intuitive read, everything is happening according to the divine time and by the way in which these different realms are set up. And when I speak of realms, I'm talking about the inner planes and the outer planes. There are more than one version of us. And to those that have done the inner work, you already know this. And it's getting to a point that even if the work wasn't done, you are being shown, because no eye can be closed at this time. So, back to Sucker Punch. The girl, she overcame everything. She made herself, she validated her own belonging in this world. Even if she was an orphan, she found family along the way. She stood up for herself. Part of her power was when she danced, right? What would happen is she would go into another world and she looked like a baby doll, innocent face. This speaks about the old souls, such as you. You look innocent on the surface. You looked very kind, because you truly are. And you are innocent, actually. But I'm speaking of, you have a young spirit. You are the ancestors' baby. You are the Most High's child of the sun, with immense power. So as she was being witnessed and experienced by those that were filled with lust and greed and all these things that limit and suppress and keep you from the divine plan. As she danced, as people experienced her, it took them into another world. This is what you do to other people. Like I said, your presence alone raises the frequency of others. It forces them to raise the frequency. That is why they had all this hate, all this jealousy. It is not you. They are seeing them. And the equalizer, oh my goodness, in the equalizer, Denzel Washington told the Russian man, when you look at me, what do you see? You are God experiencing God. And if there is something that you need to know or see, you will see it through another. Whether it is too late or not, it will be known. And as they were experiencing her, due to their misunderstanding of her power and the sacrifice that she made and the duty that she committed herself to, they were lusting after her for what she could bring in. You all have very, very powerful, powerful energy. And for lifetimes, it has been attempted to be tampered with. And I'm saying attempted because you're here now. You're an eternal being. They couldn't kill you. They couldn't get rid of you. For the Heavenly Father wills it. Eternally, Ashe. And just like the girl in Sucker Punch, you possess the power to nourish yourself back to excellent health, back to these worlds that you create. You transcend life. You transmute energies that others have no business handling because they haven't chose to do the work in order to allow themselves to see beyond the fragmentation. It seems as though because of your maturing spiritual maturity, because of your wisdom, people see you as like a mother or a father figure, whether you're young or old. Because you are an old soul, you choose to attain wisdom through experience. When you speak to people, you are speaking soul to soul. You are speaking to their shadow or whatever they possess. You are speaking to the depths of their waters, the depths of their fire, the depths of their shifting air, the depths of their earthly grounding, stability, whatever they're grounded in, because you are aligned with the interconnectedness of the all. Ashe. And as you have continued to heal and raise your frequency, and remembering this power that you possess, you are allowing this to be in this identity that you are reframing. Because every time you go through something, you become more and more of yourself. For that is the goal, self-mastery. And now you're at a point where we keep saying you're welcoming new people, welcoming new foundations, your incoming collabs and offers are coming towards you. And a lot of you could be feeling it in the astral realms first right now. So that is why you're feeling all these pulls in many different directions, but you are to focus on the moment right here, right now. I told you yesterday that is your power. This is the truth. This is the truth. 1011 endings and beginnings. There are many new beginnings for you, and you're continuing to end old cycles. Like I said, due to the fact that you choose to heal, there is no access point to you. When you don't choose to heal, that is when those timelines, those beings are able to access you. But you choose to vibrate higher to the higher faculties of L that is you as well. Ye are all. You could be feeling the interconnectedness to different beings in between realms. Ones that actually have been helping you in unseen spaces and places. And um, some of them have risen their frequency in order to meet you, actually. And you have risen your frequency to meet some of the others as well. At this time, you are receiving guidance from places and spaces that are on this new level that you have initiated into. I know sometimes people have a negative connotation when it comes to certain bugs, but like a cockroach, for example, can also mean to know that you are beyond the illusion of instability. You actually are stable, and you are to stay vigilant within moving around in these energies. Just like the girl from Sucker Punch, she was being preyed upon by some man in this kitchen in one of the scenes, but she knew how to maneuver in order to protect her while also still being seen and visible and present. This is what you've been doing your whole life. However, at the same time, you hold space for you to also be calm because your nervous system is everything. Your nervous system is the key to all this. That is why they have tried to put fear in your hearts for years. It is a part of your power you can't create if you have a discombobulated nervous system. So even in the face of adversity, you have chosen to anchor yourself. And as you become more and more of yourself, you're attracting people that accept you for you, even the things that in the past you may have felt a bit insecure about. That's that time is over. It's just like people admire the truth, you know? For years, so many people were lied to, including you. As I said, you are not just human. Our government, we're supposed to tell you the truth about the interdimensional beings that are on this planet that they work with. But instead, they kept people asleep. And a lot of you have been fighting battles and protecting humanity in places and spaces that they have blocked themselves off from. And so then it came to a point where too many people were getting too many experiences. So they came to the internet, right? Now is the time to remove from that of the NPC and see the truth from within, because life has never been without. That is backwards. When a baby is born, a baby comes out of the mother's belly. That is proof right there. The truth is in everything. Just look around. And you know this. So they're accepting you for you because you accept you for you. You accept your non-humanness and your humanness. 1 foot on the land. Oh my goodness. And I'm seeing this picture on the TV right now. 1 foot in the sand, 1 foot in the water. Inner and outer planes of existence. You are perfectly balanced, perfectly aligned. You are in tune with the truth of who you are. And that's so dope. That's the truth. So, in my mind's eye, I saw this squirrel that was cut open, emptied, and clean. No blood. This is because it is symbolic of inner transformation. This is a deep inner transformation that the entire world is going through. And for you, what you have chosen to do is remove old worries, shedding the past survival habits, and clearing out the emotional clutter so you can make space for a fresh start. 1011. The entire world, this is happening in the entire world. It's just you have chosen to go with the flow like water and release this, for it is no longer needed. And this is also, like I said, the owl was working with you yesterday. Characteristics of the owl, because the owl is indicative of knowing and being in the past, present, and the future for correctional purposes. And when I say correctional purposes, a lot of you have gone through things in different timelines that you had carried into this world when you were born. And so you had to forgive, you had to release and let go. And by you doing that, you are rewriting timelines in different dimensions. That is why it is so important. Everything that you do, everything that you say, everything that you don't do, and everything that you don't say, it affects time and space entirely. But through the inner work, through different practices, through knowing the truth of who you are, you are the judge and the corrector of timelines. You are the way doer, the way shower, and all are guided by El. For I and the Father are one and the same eternally. Ashe. So, even with the work that you have done, you are asked to allow yourself to rest a bit so that you can see and think and hear and feel clearly. Because in a time of mass transformation, there's a lot of shifting winds, a lot of different things. And so it's important that you are seeing things as they truly are and understanding where the energies are coming from when it comes to you and when it comes to others. This is a very important time, and you have been through times like these when you are going through massive shifts in every decision. I heard the motorcycle, that's fast speed and an interruption. This is the truth. There is nothing that can interrupt this process other than your belief in the fact that um, you may be worrying that may happen. Don't worry. Just flow like water. Be still. Know that I am. Speak life over your life and call it in. So what you do is for the whole. You are standing up for yourself and you're showing people there is another way. The type of love that you give yourself is such an unconditional love that is felt through time and space. When people experience you, such as the girl baby doll, they were in a trance, they were entranced. There is no love like yours. Whatever you do, whether you sing, whether you dance, whether you do art, um, whether you're speaking or just being there, you are love. And that energy is felt so strongly with the fact that you are genuine. It forces the room to raise into a heavenly existence. 1010. Cycles have been broken. It is not easy for you to be fooled. Reinforce. I know the truth. I see the truth. I speak the truth. As you are aligned and as you believe in the fact that there is no separation from the Heavenly Father, He is always with you. Always. So you cannot be deceived. Because as the Father is all things, you cannot hide from you. So again, I keep stressing the illusions aspect because the beings that think that are in their own lower timeline, they still think and are playing the old games. But they are doing this to themselves. They cannot hurt you. The other thing I saw was a fluffy egg. It didn't come. It's like there was this woman. She was making a fluffy egg, and I saw someone say, "It's okay. Just do it again," because it was a little burnt around the edges, but it still looked like it was good, like it was in progress. But it had to be redone because you're almost there. And then she did the egg again. It looked a little sloppy, but lighter this time. And then she did the egg again. And it was perfect. And I saw sunshine. This is where you are. You're in progress. You are already whole. And whatever you are finding within you is coming into fruition. Everything you need, as the Heavenly Father wills it, you are creating heaven on earth. And you have the ingredients in the kitchen. In the recent video, I spoke about the kitchen, meaning something positive or negative. It depends on what's happening for you in the dream, such as everything else. In this kitchen, the kitchen was nice and clean. There was no blazing fire. This was a preparation period. You are being prepared for something. You have been being prepared for something, and it is coming. It's coming out now. And that is why you've also felt this undertone of a holding of the breath, fast momentum, because it's already happened on the inner planes of existence. It is coming now, eternally, in the 3D. Ashe. It feels like a breath of fresh air. There's restitution. You are feeling whole again. You could have felt like there was no justice coming. Like I always say, the earth, just as it rains, there is sunshine. That is the natural order. Balance is always needed. So justice will always come as the Heavenly Father wills it. And you are, whatever you have gone through, to continue to give yourself the love and the grace that you deserve. Whatever was taken from you in those times, whatever you felt was placed on a hold, was only there because there is something better for you. And it had to happen that way, because you wouldn't be the person that you are now if it did not. And as the girl in Sucker Punch, I need to know her name. I keep saying the girl, but she didn't know her strength. And yesterday when I spoke about the two sticks, when you rub them together, it creates friction. That's friction is growth. She went through a tough time of these people trying to do experiments on her, mistaking her power for a lustful thing, a greedy thing. You know what I mean? The same thing happened to you all. There is restitution, there is justice, and you are whole. I heard, and this is not for a dark purpose. I've heard I just died. That always happens when you are doing shadow work, and that's a good thing. You're accepting aspects of yourself. You're moving through distortion. You're healing, and so some things do have to be put down. So with love and respect, I release the old me. Thank you for serving your purpose. Thank you for being what I needed. But now you owe it to that aspect of you to move forward and be who it is that you need to be now. More of you now. Ashe. I heard a coalition. You have backing in spirit and in the physical. And again, if you haven't seen it yet, it is coming in. You have people who are rooting for you because you root for yourself. And balance. There needs to be balance. and you are balancing the scales.